Good morning. Welcome to your Monday morning stretch. Something looks like it's not right with my... I'm not sure if my microphone, well, no, I don't think it is working at all. Hang on. Let me just try and change that. Oh, you can hear? Oh, that's all right then. Wonderful. Sorry, I'm there faffing with the thing, and I wasn't sure if you could hear, but you can. It reminds me of, like when we first started Zooming in COVID, and everyone was like, "You're on mute," and no one could figure out what was going on. I feel like that. Anyway, you can hear me, which is good. I've got some good mornings, which is perfect. Right, okie dokie. I am going to turn my volume up just a little bit as well, though. There we go. All right, after all that faffing, we are ready to go. So, your stretch this morning is going to be our usual top to toe stretch. We'll start in standing, we'll move onto the mat, and then we'll finish off with a posture reset. You will be having to get up and down off the floor, so if you need a little bit of furniture nearby to help you get up and down, then make sure you've got that handy. If you're exercising alone, it's a good idea to have a method of communication nearby, should you need to reach out for any help. If you feel unwell at all, then either don't join a little bit later, or stop if you need to during the session. And if any of the stretches or any of the positions that we're getting into feels uncomfortable for you, then either modify or just miss that little bit out. Okay, let's get you started then. So a nice strong standing position, and we're just going to swing our arms. One forwards, one backwards. Let the weight of your arms pull the shoulders away from the ears, and just a nice gentle swing. Good. Maybe a little bit of sway, a little bit of twist in the torso. And then next we're going to go across the body. So we're going to bring one arm round, another one round. And you might want to just gently turn the head in the direction of your swing. Whatever feels most comfortable, but really let the arms go floppy, floppy, floppy. We'll do 2 more to each direction. Lovely, well done. And then you're going to bring your hands around behind your back. So if you can hold on to either elbow, that would be great. If that's not comfortable, then either hold your wrists, but just get those hands as far around behind your back as you can. I would like you then to nod your chin down towards your chest, and then you're going to roll your ear to your shoulder one way, and then come down and through the middle and roll your ear to the shoulder the other way. Keep alternating side to side, down and round one way, and the other way. Good, 2 more each direction. And then we'll come back up into the middle, letting your arms now either hang down by your side or onto hips. We're going to do a little bit of movement for your lower body now. So if you can come up onto the tippy toes on one foot, and then you're just going to open your knee out to the side and come back in. Open the knee out to the side and come back in. If you want something to hold on to for a little bit of balance, that's fine. But otherwise, it's just a swing of the knee in and then out. In and then out. Lovely. Let's do 2 more of these. Good. And then same thing other side. So up onto the ball of the foot, swinging the knee in and out. In and out. So this just gets us a little bit of movement around our hip. 3 more. 2 more. And last one, good. And then taking the feet a fair bit wider than we would have them in a normal stance position. Arms coming down by your side, and you're going to side bend over one way. Come back up into the middle and side bend over the other way. Keep swapping side to side. And one more each way. Wonderful, good. Back up in the middle, palms facing forward, arms up and out to the side, and then bend your elbows, fingers coming behind your ears, over and over again. So this just encourages us to open the chest out a little bit more. One more each way, and then we'll add another variation to this stretch. And that will be starting from this position again, elbows wide, shoulders down. But when you go over, you're going to reach the arm with it. Come back, other side, reach the arm with it and come back down. And we'll keep doing that one. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can go back to either of the variations that we were doing before. We've only got one more to each side. Great stuff. And then let those arms come down and relax again. We're going to make our way down onto the floor now. So into an all fours position, hands and knees. So knees just a little bit wider than hip width, feet in line with the knees, and shoulders directly over your wrists. Let's go into a cat stretch. So you're going to curve around the back and release that the other way. And again, curve around and release that the other way. Big breath in when you curve and out when you release. Now, depending on where you feel tight, that's going to depend where I want you to really focus your movement. So for me, my lower back is quite tight when I come into this position. So I'm really trying to focus in to stretching that as much as I can. For you, it might be more kind of around the neck, the shoulders, the middle back. But whenever you get to that point that you feel some resistance to the movement, just focus in on that. Use your breath and see if you can just ease into that movement. That's the same for all of our stretches. And then last one here. Good. And then you're going to bring the knees just a little bit closer together again. Maybe take a little pause to have the pressure off the wrists. Now our next movement is to work on hip mobility. I'm going to demonstrate in this position because it's probably the easiest one to do it in. But if you're struggling, if your wrists are feeling a little bit uncomfortable, then you can go down onto your forearms. So that's an option if it is a little bit uncomfortable on your wrist. But the movement you're going to do with the hip is to bring that leg up, out and round like a big circle. That's it. That's 5 on that side. Come back down in the middle, get your balance, and then we'll do 5 with the other leg. Big circles round. Marvelous. Now we'll go back to the other leg, but we're going to change the direction of our circle. So before I was going up and out and round, this time I'm going to come back, round and in. So taking the leg back, round and in. Good. 5 on each side. I'm getting some interesting clicky noises. On clicky noises, general rule of thumb is if they're not painful, then it's not harmful. So don't be alarmed. Sometimes it can feel a bit weird, but it's not unusual for joints to kind of click. So if you are aware of that, don't panic, but just keep working into it. If you get any pain, obviously, then you stop. Let's do the other leg. So we're going back, round and through. Back, round and through. 3 more. Last one. Excellent. Now we're going to tuck the toes underneath, drop the bottom down to the heels, and if you want a block or a cushion or a pillow to bridge that gap, you can. But if you can get bum down to the heels or somewhere in that direction, I then want you to stretch your arms out in front of you, Feeling the stretch around the shoulders, the knees, the hips. You'll also feel it through the ball of the foot as you tuck the toes underneath. Maybe just take a little rock from side to side. Good stuff. And then we're going to unfold and swing your legs round in front of you. And if you can take your legs out straight, holding the arms out behind. Now let's take a little front of the chest stretch here. Bring your hands a bit closer together behind you. Open at the front of the chest and raise the eye line. Good. And then you can release that a little bit. We're still keeping the hands behind the back though, just to prop us up. Now I would like you to keep one leg straight, bend the other leg. Now this leg might stay here. If you are able to cross your leg over the midline of the body, so if you've got no issues with your hip that would prevent you from doing that, then you can cross the leg over the midline of the body. So we've got the foot on the outside of that straight leg. Now we're going to twist around towards our bent knee side. So I'm going to reach my free arm over, reaching round, elbow into that knee. I'm going to push the knee one way and I'm going to twist round in the opposite direction. So this is a good stretch for your lower back, for the hip, the outer part of the thigh. Whilst we're here, let's pull the toes up towards us on that bottom leg, push into the heel, little bit of a stretch up the back of the calf, into the hamstring. Wonderful. And then release that side, and we'll do the same on the opposite leg. So one leg bent, one leg straight. If you can cross the leg over midline of the body, do so, but it's fine to also do the stretch with the leg on that side. So if you can cross over, then you do. You're going to twist around towards your bent knee side, and then you're going to stretch into it. So push the knee one way. Now think about that bottom leg, the straight leg. Pull the toes towards you. Push into your heel. Let's really maximize this stretch. Good. Okay, release. We're going to do one more to each side. So reverse the position. Reaching up and round. Getting that nice big twist in. Pull the toes up towards you on the bottom leg. Push to the heel. Fabulous. And then we'll swap around to the other side. Over you go. Reach around and twist. Come up tall, rotate, stretch that bottom leg out, toes up towards you, push to the heel. Great stuff, well done. And then we'll release. We're going to stay sitting. I'm going to come facing you just so it's a little bit easier for you to see what I want you to do, which is to bring the soles of your feet together and drop your knees down. Now, if you want to give them a little bit of a rock, kind of shuffle yourself into that position, try and get right up onto your sitting bones, lift yourself up as tall as you can and open out there. Wonderful, well done. Good, now carrying on this mobility for our hips, hands going out behind you and then taking your legs out. So you've got your feet a fair bit wider than your hips, but knees are kind of coming in a little bit more. We're going for what we call a 90-90 stretch. So we let both knees drop down one way. You're taking your weight over onto the bottom cheek and getting a little bit of a twist. So we're rotating around the hips. And then we're going to go over in the opposite direction. That's it, good. And we'll just keep rocking from side to side. So we go one way and then the other way. I always find that I end up kind of shuffling forward on my mat with this one. So if you need to adjust your position, getting over and over. Brilliant stuff. Keep going like that. Let's do one more each way. Lovely. And then here we are in the middle again. We're going to tuck one foot in and take the other leg out straight. So you should feel a bit of a pull, or you might not, but if you are going to feel it, that's why you'll feel it here. You're going to get yourself up as tall as you can with the toes pulled up, and then we're going to reach our hand towards those toes. Now it might be knee, shin, ankle, toes you might be able to get, but I want you to keep your chest at the moment facing forward. So we're going sideways into our stretch. Add an arm in if you wish. And then come back up in center. So we did that stretch still facing forwards. This next one, leg position stays the same, but you're going to turn so that your breastbone is now in line with your toes. Hand on the same side as the straight leg. We're going to reach that one forward. And then you might want to slide that other arm down the leg. You can use your leg to give yourself a little bit of leverage. Try and relax the muscles at the front of the thigh. Sometimes we counteract our stretch, so consciously relax the muscles at the front of the thigh, feeling the pull up the back of your leg, maybe around your lower back a little bit. Remember, nice wide full breaths. Good, and then we're going to come back up to center and we're going to swap that position around. So you're going to tuck one leg in, take the other one out to the side, make sure you're nice and square on your sitting bones, and then stay facing front to begin with, so breastbone facing forwards towards the screen, hand on the same side as the straight leg. We're going over towards your toes. Maybe shin, maybe ankle, maybe toes, see how you get on. And we're going to hold that there. Good, let's come up. Still in that same facing forward position, but with the option of adding an arm in. Lovely, sink into the position, let your sit bones melt in towards the floor, arm as close to your ear as you can, and then release that out. We're then going to twist the torso, so breastbone is now pointing towards your toes, or somewhere in that general direction, and we're reaching forwards again towards the toes, maybe using the other leg just to slide down a little bit. Letting the muscles at the front of the thigh relax. Sink your pelvis in towards the floor. Wide, full breaths. Great stuff, well done. And then you can unfold yourself from that position, coming all the way back up into standing next, please. So up we come. Super. So our next stretches are going to be specifically for the calf, so that muscle at the back of the leg. We're getting into a split stance position, 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind. So if you feel more comfortable holding on to something, if you want that extra little bit of balance, that's absolutely fine. My purpose of this exercise is not to challenge your balance. So we want you feeling nice and steady so that you can get a good, strong stretch. So don't feel you've got to push yourself from a balance perspective. So something to hold on to if you wish. Feet on train tracks, not on a tight rope, and then you're going to take a big step back. So we want that wide stance. Remember, feet on train tracks, so both feet parallel. The hip on this back leg, try and let it come forwards a little bit, and then we're going to bend the front knee, keeping the back heel on the floor, and you should feel that stretch at the back of your back leg. And you're going to hold it there. Think about squeezing your bum cheeks together. Push the hips forward, and that will extend that stretch a little bit more. Staying upright and tall. Excellent. Now this back leg, we're going to step it in about a foot. And then you're going to bend your knee. Try and make sure the knee is still pointing forwards. Don't let it cross across the midline. Pointing forwards, bending the knee with your foot flat, and you'll feel that stretch in a slightly different part of the calf. Okay, good. Up you come. Feet are coming parallel again. Train tracks, not tight rope. Take a big step back. The hip, that side of the pelvis on the back leg, the straight leg, just drop it forwards a wee bit. Lifting up tall. Straighten the leg. Brilliant, well done. Squeeze the bum cheeks together, stay up tall, tall, tall. Now we're going to shorten that stretch a little bit. So we've stepped that leg in about halfway. Foot stays flat. Make sure everything's parallel. Knee traveling over the middle toe, and then sit down onto that straight leg there. Feeling the pull in a slightly different place. Lovely, and then come up to center, give your legs a little bit of a loosen off, and then come and stand in your nice strong parallel position. Let the arms hang heavy now, give those a little bit of a loosen off as well, as we take you through your posture check. So we want you to have equal weight across the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the heel. Think about your tailbone pointing directly down towards the floor, with a little bit of softness in the knees. Lift the rib cage up off the pelvis. The shoulders should be gently rolled open, and I want you to have a feeling of length up the back of the neck. Eye line parallel to the floor. We'll take 2 big inhale exhales in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again. Fantastic, well done. And that is your Monday morning stretch and mobility routine complete. So whether you're joining me live or if you're doing this on catch up, I'm really, really grateful for you joining me to do something good for your body. If you are a regular on the lives, next Monday is a bank holiday, so we're not going to be here. You can watch one of the catch-ups, one of the back catalogue, and then we'll be back the following week. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.